Hey there, let's go on with The Outsiders. So we know, let's see, that Dally is going to be okay after the fire. We don't know about Johnny. If he lives, he might be in a wheelchair. Um, let's see. And then it's the morning after, and Pony is making breakfast for his brothers, and Two Bit and Steve have come over. And that's where we left off. "Now look what you did, kid," I griped. "There went our breakfast. Can't you two wait till I set the eggs down before you go shoving me all over the country?" I really was a little mad, because I had just realized how long it had been since I'd eaten anything. The last thing I'd eaten was a hot fudge sundae at the Dairy Queen in Windricksville, and I was hungry. Two-Bit was walking in a slow circle around me, and I sighed because I knew what was coming. "Man, dig Baldy here." He was staring at my head as he circled me. I wouldn't have believed it. I thought all of the wild Indians in Oklahoma had been tamed. "What little squaw's got that tough-looking mop of yours, Pony Boy?" So I'm going to stop right there and make my response. This relates to some of the other racist terms we've come across or situations we've come across in this book. Keeping in mind that it was written a long time ago. And I haven't called out every single racist situation or word that has been in this book. I thought you could in some of your responses. But I decided to for this one because I'm not sure everybody is familiar with the word squaw. And that is a very derogatory name towards indigenous women. That's not a term that you would want to use towards them. So it's just interesting to find it in a reading to me. Okay, let's go on. Lay off," I said. I wasn't feeling too good in the first place, kind of like I was coming down with something. Two-Bit winked at Steve, and Steve said why he had to get a haircut to get his picture in the paper. They'd never believe a greasy-looking mug could be a hero. "How do you like being a hero, Big Shot?" "How do I like what?" "Being a hero, you know." He shoved the morning paper at me impatiently. "Like a big shot, even." I stared at the newspaper. On the front page of the second section was the headline, "Juvenile Delinquents Turn Heroes." "What I like is the turn bit," Two-Bit said, cleaning the egg up off the floor. "Y'all were heroes from the beginning. You just didn't turn all of a sudden." I hardly heard him. I was reading the paper. The whole page was covered with stories about us. The fight, the murder, the church burning, the socials being drunk, everything. My picture was there with dairy and soda pop. The article told how Johnny and I had risked our lives saving those little kids, and there was a comment from one of the parents who said that they would all have burned to death if it hadn't been for us. It told the whole story of our fight with the socias, only they didn't say socias because most grown-ups don't know what the battles that go on between us. They all interviewed Cherry Valance, and she said Bob had been drunk and that the boys had been looking for a fight when they took her home. Bob had told her he'd fix us for picking up his girl. His buddy, Randy Anderson, who had helped lump us, also said it was their fault and that we'd only fought back in self-defense. But they were charging Johnny with manslaughter. Then I discovered that I was supposed to appear in juvenile court for running away, and Johnny was too, if he recovered. Not if, I thought again. Why do I keep saying that? For once, there weren't any charges against Dally, and I knew he'd be mad because the paper made him out a hero for saving Johnny and didn't say much about his police record, which he was kind of proud of. He'd kill those reporters if he got hold of them. There was another column about just Derry and Soda and me, how Derry worked on 2 jobs at once and made good at both of them, and about his outstanding record at school. It mentioned Soda Pop dropping out of school so we could stay together, and that I made the honor roll at school all the time and might be a future track star. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm on the A-track team, the youngest one. I'm a good runner. Then it said we shouldn't be separated after we had worked so hard to stay together. The meaning of that last line finally hit me. You mean, I swallowed hard, that they're thinking about putting me and Sona in a boys' home or something? Steve was carefully combing back his hair in complicated swirls. Something like that. I sat down in a daze. We couldn't get hauled off now. Not after me and Derry had finally got through to each other, and now that the big rumble was coming up, and we would settle this soc greaser thing once and for all. Not now, when Johnny needed us and Dally was still in the hospital, and we wouldn't be out for the rumble. No, I said out loud, and Two-Bit, who was scraping the egg off the clock, turned to stare at me. No what? No, they ain't going to put us in a boys' home. Don't worry about it, Steve said, cocksure that he and Soda Pop would handle anything that came up. They don't do things like that to heroes. Where's Soda and Superman? That was as far as he got, because Derry, shaved and dressed, came in behind Steve and lifted him up off the floor, then dropped him. We all called Derry Superman, or Muscles, at one time or another, but one time Steve made the mistake of referring to him as all brawn and no brain, and Derry almost shattered Steve's jaw. Steve didn't call him that again, but Derry never forgave him. Derry has never really gotten over not going to college. That was the only time I'd ever seen Soda mad at Steve. Although Soda attached no importance to education, school bored him. No action. Soda came running in. Where's that blue shirt I washed yesterday? He took a swig of chocolate milk out of the container. Hate to tell you, buddy, Steve said, still flat on the floor, but you have to wear clothes to work. That's the law or something. Oh, yeah, Soda said. Where's those weak jeans, too? I ironed. They're in my closet, Derry said. Hurry up, you're going to be late. Soda ran back, muttering, I'm hurrying. Steve followed him, and in a second there was a general racket of a pillow fight. I absent-mindedly watched Derry as he searched the icebox for chocolate cake. Derry, I said suddenly, did you know about the juvenile court? Without fuming to look at me, he said evenly, yeah, the cops told me last night. I knew then that he realized we might be separated. I didn't want to worry him any more, but I said, I had one of those dreams last night, the one where I can't ever remember. Derry spun around to face me, genuine fear on his face. What? I had a nightmare the night Mom and Dad's funeral. I'd had nightmares and wild dreams ever since, once in a while when I was little, but nothing like this one. I woke up screaming bloody murder, and I never could remember what it was that had scared me. It scared Soda Pop and Derry almost as bad as it scared me. For night after night, for weeks on end, I would dream this dream and wake up in a cold sweat or screaming, and I never could remember exactly what happened in it. Soda began sleeping with me, and it stopped recurring so often, but it happened often enough for Derry to take me to the doctor. The doctor said I had too much imagination. He had a simple cure, too. Study harder, read more, draw more, and play football more. After a hard game of football and 4 of 5 hours of reading, I was too exhausted, mentally and physically, to dream anything. But Derry never got over it, and every once in a while he would ask me if I dreamed any more. Was it very bad? Two-Bit questioned. He knew the whole story, and having never dreamed about anything but blondes, he was interested. No, I lied. I had awakened in a cold sweat and shivering, but Soda was dead to the world. I had just wiggled closer to him and stayed awake for a couple hours. Trembling under his arm, that dream always scared the heck out of me. Derry started to say something, but before he could begin, Soda Pop and Steve came in. You know what? Soda Pop said, to no one in particular. When we stomp the socials good, me and Steve here are going to throw a big party and everybody can get stoned. Then we'll go chase the socials clear to Mexico. Where are you going to get the dough, little man? Derry had found the cake and was handing out pieces. I'll think of something, Soda Pop assured him between bites. Okay, let's stop there for the day, and the video will stop soon and you can make your response.